One signature. That was all it took for her billionaire husband to freeze her bank accounts, pack her bags, and lock her out of their Park Avenue penthouse. She had $0. But the crumbling, forgotten estate she was forced to flee to, it was hiding a $100 million secret. October 14th was supposed to be a day of celebration. Anna Hayes stood in the private elevator of her Upper East Side building, holding a rare bottle of Chateau Margaux. It was her 8th wedding anniversary with Ryan Kensington, the ruthless but charming CEO of Kensington Holdings. Anna wasn't just a trophy wife, she was the silent architect of his empire. When they met, Ryan was drowning in debt. It was Anna's brilliant architectural designs and her relentless networking that secured the first massive commercial real estate deal that put him on the map. But when the elevator doors parted to their $14 million penthouse, the lights weren't dimmed for a romantic dinner. The foyer was flooded with harsh, clinical light. Standing in the center of the imported Italian marble floor was Ryan. He wasn't wearing his usual welcoming smile. Beside him stood David Horowitz, a notoriously aggressive divorce attorney from the firm of Horowitz & Klein. And sitting comfortably on the custom velvet sofa sipping from Anna's favorite porcelain teacup was Vanessa Croft. Vanessa was a 26-year-old socialite, famous only for her Instagram following and her trust fund. Worse, she was wearing Anna's custom Cartier love bracelet. "What is going on?" Anna asked, her voice dropping to a whisper as the heavy mahogany door clicked shut behind her. "I'll keep this brief, Anna," Ryan said. His voice was entirely devoid of emotion, as if he were firing a mid-level employee. "I'm filing for divorce. Your bags are already packed and waiting in the service lobby downstairs. I need your keys, your security pass, and the company credit cards." Anna laughed, a hollow, breathless sound, thinking it was some kind of sick, twisted joke. "Ryan, what are you talking about? It's our anniversary. We built this company together." "Actually, we didn't," David Horowitz interrupted, stepping forward with a leather portfolio. He adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses, looking at Anna with absolute disdain. "According to the corporate filings in Delaware, Kensington Holdings is entirely owned by an offshore trust in the Cayman Islands, a trust to which you have no legal connection. Furthermore, the post-nuptial agreement you signed 4 years ago—" "I never signed a post-nup," Anna shouted, the bottle of wine slipping from her fingers and shattering on the marble floor. The dark red liquid pooled like blood around her designer heels. "You signed a stack of refinancing documents for the Chicago high-rise," Ryan said coldly, not even flinching at the broken glass. "Page 47 was a waiver of marital assets. You really should read what you sign, Anna. You're out." Vanessa finally spoke, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "Don't make a scene, Anna. It's so undignified. The doorman is waiting." Panic set in. Anna yanked her phone from her purse, opening her Wells Fargo banking app. Her heart slammed against her ribs. The joint account, which held over $3 million just that morning, was gone, erased. She checked her personal checking account. Balance, negative $34.50. Ryan had completely drained everything. He had spent the last 14 months systematically moving assets, rerouting funds, and legally isolating her. He had even maxed out a line of credit in her name, leaving her actively in debt. "You can't do this," Anna choked out, tears finally spilling over. "I have nothing. Where am I supposed to go?" "That," Ryan said, turning his back to her to pour himself a glass of scotch, "is no longer my problem. Escort her out, David." 2 hours later, Anna was sitting on a cold, rain-slicked bench in Central Park. She had 2 suitcases, a dead cell phone, and a handful of loose change at the bottom of her coat pocket. The rain soaked through her clothes, chilling her to the bone. The woman who had just hours ago been a titan of New York high society was now completely homeless. She spent the first night in a 2 4-hour diner in Queens, nursing a single cup of black coffee she bought with her remaining coins. As dawn broke, she remembered a letter. 3 months ago, she had received a notice from Thomas Abernathy, a probate lawyer in Albany. Her estranged great-aunt, Beatrice Holloway, had passed away. Beatrice was a notoriously eccentric recluse who had survived the Great Depression and never trusted banks. She had left Anna a property in the Hudson Valley, a place called Windermere Manor. At the time, Ryan had laughed at the inheritance. calling it a tax liability masquerading as a house, and told Anna to ignore the paperwork until the state seized it. With no other options, Anna walked into a public library, used a computer, and found the lawyer's contact information. She managed to beg a bus ticket voucher from a local women's shelter and boarded a Greyhound heading north. She was exhausted, humiliated, and broken, but she was alive, and she had a destination. The town of Rhinebeck, New York, was quaint, but Windermere Manor was not. Sitting at the end of a long, overgrown dirt road, the 19th century Victorian estate looked like a rotting corpse. The mansard roof was missing dozens of slate shingles, the iron gates were rusted shut, and thick, strangling ivy crept up the brick facade like dark veins. When Anna pushed open the heavy oak front door, the smell of mildew and decades of trapped dust hit her like a physical blow. The interior was a labyrinth of decay. Aunt Beatrice had been a severe hoarder. Mountains of yellowed newspapers dating back to 1985 were stacked waist-high in the hallways. Broken grandfather clocks, moth-eaten armchairs, and cracked porcelain dolls littered the grand parlor. There was no electricity, no running water, and the heating system had clearly been dead for 20 years. "This is it," Anna whispered to herself, her breath pluming in the freezing air of the parlor. "This is my entire life." For the first 3 weeks, survival was brutal. Anna sold her designer coats and her wedding ring to a local pawn shop just to afford basic supplies. A kerosene heater, bottled water, canned soup, and a cheap mattress she dragged into the least drafty room on the first floor. She spent her days physically exhausted, hauling trash out to the yard, trying to make the house livable. Her hands, once perfectly manicured, were blistered and bleeding. The financial reality was just as grim. A notice from the county arrived in the rusted mailbox. Windermere Manor was $42,000 behind in property taxes. If she didn't pay within 60 days, the state would auction it off. She was right back where she started, on the verge of losing everything. Then, on a freezing Tuesday afternoon, a sleek black Mercedes G-Wagon rolled up the dirt driveway. A man in a sharp, tailored suit stepped out. He looked entirely out of place amidst the dead weeds and rotting wood. Anna, wearing a stained flannel shirt and holding a garbage bag, met him on the porch. "Anna Hayes?" the man asked, flashing a brilliantly white, practiced smile. "My name is Gregory Pierce. I represent Apex Developments. We specialize in acquiring distressed properties. We know you're facing a massive tax lien, and frankly, this property is a teardown, but we're willing to take it off your hands." He pulled a crisp folder from his briefcase and extended a pen. "We're offering to pay off the $42,000 tax debt. Plus, we will write you a check today for $50,000 cash. You can walk away clean. Start a new life." $50,000. To Anna, standing in the freezing cold with $20 left to her name, it sounded like a fortune. She reached for the pen. Her hand trembled. It would be so easy. She could get an apartment in the city, buy a new wardrobe, and start applying for architectural jobs. But as she looked at the contract, her eyes caught on the letterhead. Apex Developments, a subsidiary of Kensington Holdings. Her blood turned to ice. Ryan wasn't just trying to buy the land. He had tracked her down. He knew she was desperate. Why would a billionaire who just stole her entire life care about a rotting house in the middle of nowhere? She looked past Gregory and surveyed the land. Windermere sat on 12 acres of prime, unzoned forest that bordered a newly proposed luxury ski resort. Ryan didn't want to help her. He wanted to steal her last remaining asset for pennies on the dollar, bulldoze her family history, and make millions off the land. Anna looked Gregory dead in the eye, took the contract, and ripped it in half. "Tell Ryan," she said, her voice dropping to a dangerous, steady calm, "that he can burn in hell. Get off my property." Gregory's fake smile vanished. "You're making a massive mistake, Anna. This house is a grave. You're going to freeze to death out here, and the county will take it anyway. You have nothing." "I have this," she spat, slamming the heavy front door in his face. She slid down the back of the door, her heart hammering wildly. She had just rejected a lifeline out of pure spite, and now she had absolutely no way to pay the taxes. That night, a massive nor'easter hit the Hudson Valley. The wind howled through the gaps in the window frames, and the freezing rain battered the roof. Around 2 a.m., Anna woke up to a sound she dreaded, rushing water. She grabbed her heavy-duty flashlight and ran toward the basement stairs. The ancient stone cellar was flooding. Water was pouring in from a collapsed section of the foundation near the back wall. If the water level reached the old furnace, it would rust out the only salvageable piece of machinery in the house. Desperate, Anna waded into the freezing, calf-deep water. She needed to block the leak. She grabbed rotting wooden planks, old paint cans, anything she could find. Against the back wall sat a massive, floor-to-ceiling wrought iron wine rack, empty and covered in decades of rust. The water was gushing from right behind it. Gritting her teeth, Anna threw her entire body weight against the heavy iron rack, pushing it sideways. The metal shrieked against the stone floor, fighting her every inch of the way. With a final, agonizing heave, the rack slid 3 feet to the left. Anna gasped, dropping to her knees in the freezing water. The wall behind the wine rack wasn't made of the same rough, uneven 19th century fieldstone as the rest of the basement. It was flat, modern, poured concrete. And right in the center of it was a heavy circular steel wheel, exactly like the locking mechanism of a bank vault. Stamped into the steel were the faded letters: Mosler Safe Company, 1931. Aunt Beatrice wasn't just a hoarder. She was a woman who had lived through the collapse of the banking system during the Great Depression. She trusted no one. Anna reached out with trembling hands, gripping the freezing steel wheel. She wiped the grime from the dial. It was locked tight. But as she shone her flashlight around the edges of the concrete frame, she noticed a small, hollowed-out brick near the floor. Inside was a tarnished brass key and a small, leather-bound notebook. Anna opened the damp notebook. On the first page, written in Beatrice's elegant, looping cursive, was a single sentence. For the daughter who learns to stand in the storm. Below it was a sequence of 4 numbers. Taking a deep, shuddering breath, Anna stood up. The freezing water swirling around her legs was entirely forgotten. She stepped up to the vault door and began to turn the dial. The heavy brass dial of the Mosler vault was freezing against Anna's bruised fingers. She shone her flashlight onto the damp pages of Aunt Beatrice's leather-bound notebook, her breath catching in her throat. 34, right. 12, left. 58, right. 7, left. Anna turned the dial. The clicks were loud, echoing sharply against the flooded stone cellar. With the final turn to the number 7, a heavy, metallic clunk reverberated from deep within the concrete wall. Anna grabbed the rusted lever, planted her boots into the freezing water for leverage, and pulled. With a hiss of breaking seals and a groan of ancient hinges, the massive steel door swung outward. Anna stepped back, raising her flashlight. The space beyond the door was completely dry. It was a climate-controlled room, roughly 10 by 15 feet, lined entirely in cedar and reinforced steel. There was no water damage, no mildew, no decay. The air smelled of old paper, leather, and something metallic. She stepped over the raised threshold, leaving the freezing floodwaters behind. Along the left wall were dozens of heavy canvas bags, stacked meticulously on reinforced steel shelving. Along the right wall sat 6 large, brass-bound wooden chests. In the center of the room rested a simple mahogany desk, holding a single, unlit oil lamp and a stack of manila folders. Anna walked toward the nearest canvas bag. It was absurdly heavy. She untied the thick hemp drawstrings and pulled the fabric back. Her flashlight beam caught the reflection, blinding her for a split second. Gold. It wasn't jewelry or loose coins. It was a stack of solid, raw gold bullion bars. Anna's hands shook violently as she picked one up. It was incredibly dense, weighing around 27 pounds. Stamped into the top of the gleaming metal were the words, United States Assay Office, New York, 999. Fine. Oh my God, Anna whispered, the sound absorbed by the thick vault walls. She opened the next bag. More gold, and the next. There were 40 bags in total. Moving to the wooden chests, she pried open the brass clasps of the first trunk. Inside, nestled in custom-fitted velvet trays, were hundreds of pristine, uncirculated gold coins. She recognized them from a history of architecture and design class she had taken years ago. 1,907 high-relief double eagles. widely considered the most beautiful and valuable coins ever minted by the United States. Aunt Beatrice hadn't just been paranoid. She had been a financial visionary who converted her family's massive industrial-era wealth into untraceable, inflation-proof, physical assets just before the dollar was taken off the gold standard. Anna walked over to the mahogany desk and opened the top manila folder. Inside was a ledger, detailing the exact contents of the room, meticulously updated until Beatrice's death. Gold bullion, 4,000 ounces. Numismatic rarities, appraised in 1998 at $14 million. Uncut diamonds, 300 carats, sourced from De Beers in 1952. At current market value, Anna was standing in a room holding over $80 million in untraceable, tax-free wealth. She sank into the wooden chair, burying her face in her hands. She wept. She wept for the betrayal she had suffered, for the freezing nights she had endured, and for the immense, crushing relief that washed over her. Ryan had taken her bank accounts, her penthouse, and her dignity, but he hadn't taken her survival instinct. With dawn, Anna had a plan. She couldn't simply walk into a local bank with a gold bar. It would trigger federal investigations, IRS audits, and worse, Ryan's lawyers would find a way to tie it up in probate court, claiming it was a marital asset she had hidden. She needed absolute discretion. Anna took a single 1,907 double eagle coin and two smaller 1-ounce gold bars she found in a desk drawer. She wrapped them carefully in a wool sock, packed them into her worn backpack, and took the morning train to Manhattan. She avoided the Upper East Side completely. Instead, she navigated to the Diamond District, walking into the highly secure, heavily guarded offices of Harrison Caldwell, one of the most exclusive and discreet private wealth assayers in the world. When the receptionist looked at Anna's thrift store boots and frayed coat with disdain, Anna simply placed the 1,907 double eagle on the glass counter. "Tell Mr. Caldwell," Anna said, her voice dripping with the quiet authority she had honed as the silent powerhouse behind Kensington Holdings, "that I have 200 more of these, and I need a secure, private line of credit, opened immediately." 10 minutes later, she was sitting in a plush leather chair in Caldwell's private office. By the end of the day, Caldwell had authenticated the coin and the gold. He purchased the coin for $3.2 million, depositing the funds into a newly formed, anonymous offshore LLC that Anna named Windermere Holding Group. The following Thursday morning, Anna walked into the Dutchess County Clerk's office. She was no longer wearing the stained flannel. She wore a tailored Alexander McQueen trench coat, dark Tom Ford sunglasses, and carried a sleek leather briefcase. Sitting in the waiting area, looking smug and entirely too confident, was Gregory Pierce, Ryan's crony from Apex Developments. He was waiting for the public auction of Windermere Manor to begin. Anna walked straight past him to the clerk's desk. "I am the deed holder for 402 Windermere Lane," Anna said, pulling a cashier's check from her briefcase. "I believe there is an outstanding tax lien of $42,000. I am here to clear the balance." Gregory bolted upright, his coffee spilling onto his expensive loafers. "Wait! That property is supposed to go to auction today. She doesn't have the funds." The clerk ignored him, verifying the cashier's check. She stamped the file with a heavy, satisfying thud. "Lien cleared, Miss Hayes. The property is free and clear. Have a wonderful day." Anna turned slowly to face Gregory. She lowered her sunglasses, her eyes locking onto his panicked face. "Tell Ryan," Anna said, her voice smooth as silk, "that Windermere Manor is no longer on the market. And tell him I said hello." Over the next 6 months, Windermere Manor transformed. Anna quietly liquidated another $15 million of the vault's contents through Harrison Caldwell, ensuring the funds were thoroughly washed and integrated into Windermere Holding Group. She hired a small army of elite, discreet contractors from Boston, avoiding anyone local who might gossip to Ryan's developers. The rotting slate roof was replaced, the plumbing was modernized, and the fieldstone foundation was expertly sealed. The grand parlor, once a hoarding nightmare, was restored to its 19th century glory, outfitted with imported French antiques and a sweeping crystal chandelier. Anna didn't just survive. She resurrected the estate, turning it into an impenetrable fortress of wealth and power. But Anna hadn't forgotten Ryan. She had been monitoring his business dealings. obsessively. Ryan was arrogant. He had leveraged almost his entire liquid fortune into the new luxury ski resort project bordering Anna's land. He had promised his investors an ultra-exclusive resort, complete with a private access highway. But there was a fatal flaw in his master plan, a flaw Anna had discovered while reviewing the county zoning maps. The only viable path for Ryan's necessary access highway ran directly through a 200-acre stretch of wetlands and distressed farmland adjacent to his property. He didn't own that land yet. He had been planning to buy it up at a massive discount once he secured Anna's 12 acres, which acted as the critical bottleneck connecting the highway to the main road. Anna smiled. It was time to play God. Using her anonymous LLC, Anna deployed Arthur Pendleton, a ruthless corporate acquisitions attorney based in London. Through Arthur, Anna aggressively bought up every single acre of land surrounding Ryan's proposed resort. She paid double the asking price, closing the deals in cash within days. She didn't just buy the farmland. She bought the local timber mill, the municipal water rights, and the access roads. She completely, thoroughly, and legally landlocked Ryan's $100 million development. The fallout was catastrophic. Without the access roads, Ryan couldn't get construction equipment onto the site. Without the water rights, he couldn't build the snowmaking machines necessary for a ski resort. The town council, heavily influenced by Anna's massive new philanthropic donations to the local school district, repeatedly denied Ryan's requests for zoning variances. By November, Kensington Holdings was bleeding capital. Ryan had missed 2 major loan payments to his creditors. His investors were pulling out, and the Cayman Island trust he had used to hide his money was suddenly under investigation by the SEC, thanks to a completely anonymous, highly detailed tip Anna had mailed to federal regulators. Vanessa Croft, realizing the billionaire lifestyle was rapidly evaporating, packed her Louis Vuitton bags and boarded a flight to Monaco with a French racing driver, leaving Ryan entirely alone in a heavily mortgaged penthouse. Desperate, facing total financial ruin, Ryan received an email from the elusive CEO of Windermere Holding Group. The email offered a meeting to negotiate the sale of the access lands. The location, 402 Windermere Lane. Ryan drove up to Rhinebeck in a leased sedan, his Mercedes G-Wagon having been repossessed the week prior. When he turned onto the dirt road, expecting to see the rotting, dilapidated nightmare Gregory had described, he slammed on the brakes. Towering iron gates, newly forged and gleaming black, swung open silently. The driveway was paved with crushed white stone, flanked by perfectly manicured oak trees. At the end of the drive sat Windermere Manor, a breathtaking vision of restored Victorian grandeur. Ryan stepped out of his car, completely bewildered. The heavy oak front door opened. Anna stood on the porch. She was wearing a flawless, custom-tailored emerald green pantsuit, her hair perfectly styled. She held a crystal wine glass, the dark red liquid catching the afternoon sun. It was Chateau Margaux. Anna? Ryan stammered, his face draining of color. What? What is this? Whose house is this? It's mine, Ryan, Anna said, taking a slow sip of her wine. Welcome to Windermere Manor. Ryan walked up the stone steps, his mind struggling to process the scene. You're the CEO of Windermere Holding Group? That's impossible. You left New York with nothing. You had $0. I made sure of it. You made sure of a lot of things, Anna replied smoothly, stepping aside to lead him into the grand foyer. The interior was breathtaking, smelling of polished mahogany and fresh lilies. You made sure to steal my designs. You made sure to forge my signature. You made sure to throw me out on the street. But you forgot one crucial detail, Ryan. What? He asked, his voice shaking as he looked around at the obvious staggering wealth. Anna turned to face him, her eyes cold and piercing. You forgot that I was the brains behind Kensington Holdings. You were just the salesman, and you severely underestimated my Aunt Beatrice. Anna walked over to a heavy oak desk and picked up a thick legal portfolio. She tossed it onto the glass coffee table in front of him. What is this? Ryan asked, refusing to touch it. That is a buyout agreement, Anna stated. Your ski resort is dead in the water. You are 60 days away from defaulting on your corporate loans. Your investors are preparing to sue you for fraud, and the SEC is currently dismantling your Cayman trust. You are bankrupt, Ryan. Ryan opened his mouth to argue, but no words came out. He knew she was right. He was trapped. I have already purchased the outstanding debt of Kensington Holdings from your primary lenders, Anna continued, circling him like a predator. I am now your largest creditor. If you do not sign that document, I will force your company into hostile bankruptcy, and I will personally ensure that David Horowitz cannot save you from the federal fraud charges stemming from your forged post-nuptial agreements. Ryan stared at her, utterly broken. The man who had callously thrown her out of their penthouse with nothing was now standing in her foyer, begging for his financial life. What does the agreement say? He whispered, his voice cracking. It legally transfers 100% ownership of Kensington Holdings, all its subsidiaries, and the Park Avenue penthouse to Windermere Holding Group, Anna said flatly. In exchange, I will assume your corporate debts, and I won't send you to federal prison. You will walk away with exactly what you left me with. $0, 2 suitcases, and the clothes on your back. Anna, please, Ryan begged, tears finally welling in his eyes. We were married. We built a life together. You can't just leave me with nothing. Anna looked at him, feeling absolutely no pity. She remembered the cold rain in Central Park. She remembered the freezing floodwaters in the basement. She remembered the sheer terror of having her entire life erased. Actually, Ryan, Anna said, handing him a sleek gold fountain pen, I can, and I will. Sign the paper. Ryan's hands shook violently as he took the pen. With a defeated, trembling hand, he signed his name on the dotted line, signing away his empire, his wealth, and his legacy to the woman he had tried to destroy. Anna took the portfolio, checked the signature, and smiled. The local bus station is 3 miles down the road, Ryan, Anna said, walking toward the front door and pulling it open. I suggest you start walking. It looks like it's going to rain. As Ryan dragged himself down the crushed stone driveway, a broken and destitute man, Anna closed the heavy oak door. She walked into her magnificent parlor, poured herself another glass of Chateau Margaux, and raised a toast to the empty room. She had been kicked out with absolutely nothing, but she had fought the storm, uncovered a forgotten legacy, and reclaimed her empire. Anna Hayes was no longer just a survivor. She was the queen of the board, and the game was officially over. If Anna's incredible journey from absolute betrayal to becoming an unstoppable multi-million-dollar powerhouse left you speechless, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Share this story with anyone who loves a brilliant, savage revenge plot. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable real-life drama and storytelling. Have you ever turned a massive setback into your greatest victory? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you in the next